Hey team, what's going on? So today I want to talk to you about something just as important as your workouts and your nutrition. It's your mindset. Now, coming into a new program or even further down the road on your journey, you may encounter some challenges or in the beginning of the program you want to be perfect and you miss something, or you miss a workout, or you're just not performing as well as you'd like to. And our mindset can become very negative, right? So I want to talk to you today about overcoming that negative mindset, overcoming that guilt, right? So you can actually have sustainable results. Grace has to be over guilt. Right? We have to shift our mindset from a shame mindset to a success mindset. When we're in a shame mindset, it's very hard to operate in an abundance of overflow, right? We're shaming ourselves. We're feeling guilty. We're missing a workout. That's why I'm sure you've seen friends that, or maybe this happened in your life, you missed a workout for a week turned into 2 weeks, 2 weeks turned into 2 months, 2 months turned into 2 years, right? That's a shame mindset. That mindset kept them stuck in that pattern, right? We have to shift to a success mindset, right? To escape that paradigm of living and thinking if we actually want to see results, right? And this is really powerful because this is why some people are in negative patterns, whether it's addiction, whether it's relationships. People are in negative patterns, and we can get into a negative pattern of thinking that can severely affect our progress in whatever program, especially my program, or health journey or journey in general that we're embarking on to try and elevate. So what mindset will actually lead to success? This mindset has consistency. This mindset is a mindset of consistency, right? Overcoming obstacles, navigating challenges, right? Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. It's like a shark. Like when a shark stops, I don't know if this is actually true, but I've just heard this in lots of like motivational talks, but when a shark stops moving, it dies. Right? So it doesn't matter what water it's moving through, if there's plastic, if there's oil there, as long as it keeps moving, it's gonna be alive, it's gonna make it through. That's the mindset that's gonna help us to be successful on this journey. We miss a workout, we miss our nutrition goal, we go out with friends, we get super hammered, we're just messing up left and right. Like understanding that this is a momentary lapse. This is a isolated failure, right? And that we're going to have to overcome these isolated failures to get to a point of success. And we can't let this single isolated failure bring us down, bring our whole journey down. Okay, forget it. That's why I said a 1 week or 2 weeks of mistakes can turn to 2 years of mistakes, 2 years of not progressing, actually regressing. And that's all because of a mindset. Like it keeps you stuck. If you're in this mindset, right? If you're in this mindset of shame, of guilt, you're gonna be stuck there. And that's why you blink and 2 years go by and you haven't progressed. You've actually digressed. You've gained another 10 pounds. You feel way less confident. Clothes are still not fitting. You went up 2-3 sizes. That's a negative mindset because that kept you stuck. But if you keep being consistent, keep showing up, keep trying to overcome those hurdles, right? That's what's gonna keep you moving and eventually get to your goals. When you show yourself grace, right? It's like you're throwing yourself a lifeline, right? When you show yourself grace, you're throwing yourself a lifeline. Because think about it, when you're in that mindset of shame, of I don't think I'm meeting my goals. I don't think I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do. It's like you're drowning. Like it's almost like you're in a sea of negativity. You're literally throwing yourself a lifeline. Like it's okay, relax. It's just the beginning. You just started the program, or this is normal. This is a life thing. You can't change. Like God forbid you lose a loved one. You can't change that. Like. That's an act of God. You can't change that, right? So this is throwing yourself a lifeline. Hey, take this lifeline. More help is coming. That's what grace does. You have to like picture that. It's very powerful when you picture that and you actually visualize yourself throwing yourself a lifeline and you're like, I'm okay. It's not that bad. Right? You have to be consistent over having super intensity, because super intensity is like, it's fleeting, it's like feelings. Because you don't give super intensity all the time because you don't have enough juice. We're human beings, no one gives 150,000% every second of the day. It's impossible, right? Because we're human beings, we have moods, we have feelings, we have lives, we have wives. So we have these things picking us up or down, right? So I'd rather focus on being consistent, showing up, hey, 4 or 5 days out of the week, 6 days, we're winning the week, we're crushing the week, we're doing 1, 2, 3, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that we have to do, check off the list to make sure that we can be successful. That's consistency. Versus like super crazy Mario, Goku, slam, fire, intensity, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're gonna burn out. That's what that's what burnout is. You're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn yourself out. It's not gonna be fun picking up the pieces, right? So I always say being consistent over super intensity, right? So progress, it doesn't come from doing everything perfect, right? I always tell my clients, progress is not whoop, right? It's not just straight up. Progress is like up and down, up and down. Sometimes it's like goes bigger. Like sometimes you go up and like you started here, you go up and down, and there's a dip that's like below where you started. You're like, oh my gosh, like whoa, like what is that, right? But then it goes back, it shoots up dramatically, right? That's progress, and it's super hard when you're in it. I'm low key going through something like this right now, kind of a micro experience. But this happens to everybody. Like this happens to everybody. You can't escape it. Right? It's part of the game. That's why I'm here. That's why you need a support system, a strong, competent support system to help you navigate those storms. Because if you can't navigate those storms, you're gonna get caught up in the storms. And you're not gonna be successful, and you're gonna play the blame game. You're gonna blame the coach. You're gonna blame, oh, this program probably wasn't that good. You're gonna blame your family. You're gonna blame your job. You're gonna blame everybody but yourself. You need to blame you because you have control over you. How we reinforce this is we have to take ownership of the inner dialogue going in our minds. This is how we protect our aura, our vibe. If we're constantly speaking negative and speaking, oh, I can't do this, oh my gosh, I missed the workout, might as well miss the rest of the week. What? That is a negative mindset. That is a failing mindset. Right? We have to take over the inner dialogue. And again, these are things I'm working on. Like I'm trying to progress in as well, so I can be over in abundance to pour out into you guys. Right? So having to always speak in a dialogue of you're going to be successful, you're going to make it. Oh, messed up yesterday, it's okay. Get up. The righteous man fall down 6, but rises up again. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep rising. You're going to rise. You're going to rise. Right? You have to keep rising. So you have to be speaking this way, like literally. If you're at your job, like just like, girl, you're gonna do it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. Like, you have to be speaking positive to yourself. There's a power behind it. Even like CEOs that go on these retreats and they meditate and they do mantras and only there's an unspoken power behind intentional speaking. Intentional speaking. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so shall he be. There's power in what you speak. There's power of life and death in the tongue. Like, there's so much power that you have. You may not understand this, but I'm trying to convey this to you in a practical way, right? So just start speaking these things. Your mindset will change. Your thoughts are going to start, you're going to start thinking of the success because you're speaking it. Your mind, your subconscious has no choice but to think of that success, right? Okay, I'm going to go on a crazy tangent. I love this stuff. How we actually add to this talking to ourselves is celebrating small wins. That's why we do Win Wednesdays, right? I'm not just being corny. Like there is a science, a psychology behind Win Wednesdays. Sometimes I'll have some of my clients tell me, hey, what's a win? Like, I don't have a win. And I'll call them and then we'll start talking. And then we got like 4 wins in there. Like, why didn't you post this? You got 4 wins. It's because they weren't speaking to themselves. They weren't constantly speaking positive to themselves. So they're not in a positive mindset. And they may not be in a shameful mindset, but they're definitely in a decreased mindset, in a lower mindset. Because it's not, if it was super positive, they would easily remember, oh yeah, my coworker said I look slimmer. They would have easily remembered those things. But because you're in a more decreased mindset, it's hard. I have to dig it out of you. I have to conversate with you. You know, I have to be me, right? So that's fine though. But we have to celebrate those small wins because those are super important and super impactful in making us stay in that positive mindset. To wrap up here, remembering that as you start this journey or while you're on this journey, it's not about perfection. There is no perfection. Remember the chart. Sometimes you're here, but it's like it's still going up, right? And understanding those dips are sometimes necessary. They're sometimes necessary for you. There's some lessons you have to learn there. There's some things you have to go. There's some character you have to develop in that pit, in that dip, so you can shoot up dramatically and stay there, keep going, right? And the dip is less as it goes up. The dip is less. You never like all the way up there. You fall all the way down. That's a massive drop. We don't want to make those, right? But usually people don't make those when they get up to that level because they've been reinforcing that level naturally and gradually. They've been reinforcing that mindset to become super strong. I've got clients who are 9 months deep, 6 months deep, 8 months deep into the program. Their mindset from when they started, oh my gosh, it's a new level and it's very tangible. You can see it. It's awesome, right? And that's where we want to get to. Your only job is to show up and stay consistent. That's your only job. Show up, stay consistent. Communicate with whoever's helping you on your journey, i.e. me. communicate with me if I'm your coach. If I'm not your coach, if I'm your coach, communicate with me, let me know, right? Because that's how I help you show up and stay consistent regardless of what's going on so we can navigate those storms. I want you to write down an area in the chat and the comments, write down an area where you're going to give yourself grace. One area where you're going to give yourself grace so you can continue to show up and stay consistent. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Peace.